realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Like I said it last year, it still echoes to this day. Now, the first picture that we saw, if you can go back one slide. When you look at, how many of you know the Great Barrier Reef in Australia?
No.
Know of it? Yes. No, not have been there, no. Know of it, we'll go there. No, know of it. So these little orange things are actually living organisms. They're called coral polyps. I know there's some word like that in medicine. But for the purpose of this, they literally have created a city of microorganisms and created a whole ecosystem underwater. But the key element of their existence, you can go to the next slide. The key element of their existence is that they're constantly growing, they're constantly changing, so they can be one form today. Tomorrow that same thing will look different as a means of adapting to the environment within which they exist. So when we're talking about where else in the space of money, work, hustle, where is it going outside of tech and AI, I want you to keep that at the back of your mind, that idea of you are one thing now, but you don't have to be that for the next season of your life or for the next 5 years. Ask yourself, am I allowing myself capacity to change, adapt as the economies change, as tragedies come, as COVID hits, as whatever? Ask yourself at the very core, am I creating systems within myself that will allow me to adjust? Because it's one thing to say there's money in aerospace, whatever. But if you cannot adjust to that, that money will forever be in a glass tank, and you observe it from a distance. Lydia will talk about bar singing, and it will never be something that you can ever do. I was saying when that slide came up about what else to do, and I was like, I'm not sure if this year child of mine goes, oh mom, I want to be a bar singer, I would go. So yeah, it's a work in progress. Like I said, we're still loading when it comes to things like that. Okay, next slide. So my topic basically broke it down into different sectors, where maybe you're in that space, maybe it's something you can consider, maybe it's something you can encourage someone to consider. But these tend to be the current growing spaces. So obviously you've heard the word sustainability a lot here, but sustainability and the green economy sector have become, so especially your environmental, social, and governance, so your ESGs, that word is being thrown around corporate a lot, because money is now saying we want to invest in things that are sustainable, but things that also promote green economy. So whereas if you're wanting to go into mining, it might be more difficult for you to get money there than something that is within the green economy. And with the way the world is moving, I know tech also, you see all these promotions about houses off the grid, everything is contained, I'm off the grid when it comes to electricity, everything in the house is sustainable, renewable energy, and all these other fancy, statements. Basically, they're just saying we're just making decisions that give us money, but save the environment. Yeah. And right now it's a thing that people want. There's been a trend now in this space for green buildings, carbon footprint management, and renewable energy. Now here I've got an example. I've got a nephew of mine who used to work at a recycling, doing, you can go to the next slide, sorry. Who was doing in detail now when we talk about some of the renewal stuff and recycling. They were doing recycling in Maputo in Mozambique. And basically, people come with cardboard. I mean, how many have ordered from Take-A-Lot and the amount of boxes you get from Take-A-Lot? Have you ever thought, okay, what's going to happen to all these boxes? So in Mozambique, for example, people bring cardboard and they get given the equivalent of R1 per kilo for cardboard. So obviously if it's wet, they, apply their whatever calculations for that water weight. A 30-ton truck to bring those to South Africa will cost you 15,000 Rand. That's including all the border clearance, whatever's, right? And the driver, 15. So let's say 15 to 18. And when you bring it here, Carousel, which buys recycled cardboard, guess how much they are buying the cardboard for? Considering at your source, you are paying R1 to a person per kilo. So what could be a good amount for Carousel to buy the recycled cardboard?
5 Rand.
5 Rand would be good, isn't it? Because even if you put, because it being Mozambique, for example, the average pay for someone in a warehouse could be, if you're giving them very good pay, would be like 10,000 mets, 10 to 15. Divide that by 4 point something. So it's not much. So assuming it was at 5 Rand, and you bring in a 30-ton truck, let's do a quick calculation. 30, those that like numbers, 30,000 by 5 per kilo. 150. How much have you spent to give the people that are bringing the cardboard? 30,000. On salaries, let's say, worst case scenario, you spent 35K. What does that leave us with? Then we take away another 18, let's say, or let's just put 20 for transport and border clearances and whatever. Where are we at from 150? 135. Do you actually know how much Carousel is buying a kilo of recycled cardboard for? 12 Rand.
What?
Yeah.
They're buying it for 12 Rand.
Wait.
They're buying it for 12 Rand.
They're still buying it for 12 Rand. I'm asking for a friend.
No, but this conversation is not for a friend. This conversation is for yourself. So yes, I'm looking for money to start my recycling. I'm looking for my money to start my recycling in Mozambique.
I took away.
So the reason why I'm saying this is because and I think my husband can confirm, I've been inquiring about this recycling thing for a while. And this morning I was like, no, I need to double check these numbers again. Because obviously, the people that do it, they actually don't need to buy the baling equipment. And if you're in a place where they know, where Carousel knows there's volume for what they need, they will lease the equipment to you. You don't have to buy it. They will give you the equipment so you can bring the product. So this is just I'm just using it as an example for, and we know someone who was doing that. They ended up with how many trucks? I can't remember.
Wasn't it like 9 or something?
Yeah. And they were now doing over 20 tons in collection per day.
No, my friend, am I in the wrong profession?
No. So you're not in the wrong profession. The purpose of today is to think about where else. Because remember, I asked you, what do you do with your Take-A-Lot boxes? We throw them. But a whole economy exists in waste. In waste. I consulted for a company called Cash for Trash. Was it last year or the year before? And the whole thing is about money in trash. And it got to a point where they developed an app where for your PET bottles, they brought in reverse vending machines, which is like a thing right now globally. The reverse vending machines, especially in Europe, it's better for you when you're buying certain elements of your groceries, when you bring back recycling bottles, plastics, you then get money back that you can then use. So they developed a South African app where you go with your plastics, you put, and then it gives you digital money that you can then scan on Zappa and do your admit, the parking stuff. Based off of what? Trash. Waste that we don't think about. Again, going into the waste management, there's a community I work in Delmas called Vicro. A couple of the youngsters bought a tank. So growing up in Zim for me, there was always a time when a truck is hired to come and empty the septic tank. So I had heard that people are making money from it. I just didn't pay attention. And these boys bought this, they literally hook it on a truck. So it's not even the whole truck. They just bought the tank. And the amount of money these boys racked in over Christmas, just draining septic tanks. And I'm seeing these youngsters, I've known them for some years. They drain when it gets too low, the one jumps in, and I'm thinking, you're jumping into a septic tank? And then they tell you how much money they're making, and you're like, no, it's okay, keep going. Keep going into the septic tank. But why am I giving these examples? Because I know there is the tech and everything that's going on, but there's also space, because it's not everyone who's going to be tech savvy. But that's not to say you can be missed in the equation of money that is being made. The issue is, how are you thinking outside of the boxes that have been put by our education as well, and the systems within which we exist? The other one is obviously sustainable agriculture and forestry, and I'll get into a bit more detail